Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Almost caught me slipping there without the microphone, but welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. And guys, we got an amazing show for you guys tonight. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and move chat over here to my chat screen. But what is going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your precious time here with the Candle Mafia and your boy Frankie Candles to do 2 full hours of TA, trying to find those entries, trying to find which way Bitcoin is going. Are we going to see Bitcoin get a big move to the upside coming up here very soon, guys? I want to talk about it. Now, if you watch the live streams, you will know that we are being very cautious about some potential moves to the downside in the short term. As you guys know, there are a lot of mixed signals out there, and we got to be really careful at this point in the market. But there are some things that are pointing to some moves to the upside here, guys. We're going to be going over them not only on the longer time frames, but also on the medium to higher hourly time frames, as well as the lower daily time frames, aka the daily. But guys, we're going to be taking a look at all that. We're taking a look at the key levels. We're going to be taking a look at the altcoins towards the end of the stream. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. And the more spins, the more free stuff you guys get. And we literally give away all my money here on the live streams on Friday. So every 100 likes we get gives you guys a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. And if we get, what's the like goal for tonight? Let's see. We're at 73 right now. So if we get 550 likes on tonight's stream, I will spin that wheel 10 times. Basically resulting in you guys getting a bunch of free bags of ADA and maybe a Frankie Candles hat. You never know. But guys, if you caught my live stream earlier today at about 1:30, you guys know I don't stream at 1:30, but we did a Bing X collaboration doing a live trading tutorial talking about volume profiles and divergences. And after I got off there, after I got off that live stream, guys, I was kind of feeling like I spit some sauce on that stream. So go check that out if you have not seen it. It is a live stream, but it is a live tutorial, not a straight not price action. It's not live price action, right? It's basically a tutorial, so it's not outdated. Definitely go check that out. Even if you watch it over the weekend, set aside some time to watch that. It's about an hour and 40 minutes of straight sauce, just actionable sauce that you can learn and then get off that live stream, go straight to the chart, and apply what I talk about to your trading immediately. Shout out to Hazel says, great live stream earlier. I appreciate you. Actually had some really good feedback there. People saying they watched it multiple times because they learned so much. So go check that out, guys. I'm not shilling my video. I'm just saying we got a lot of really good feedback. I was reading the comments, and people really found it helpful. So if you're looking to learn about volume profiles, how I use it to find key levels, and use it alongside divergences to get into profitable trades, go check that out. It's some of the stuff we talk about on the live stream, but I go more in depth. So definitely go check that out. Darren Does Things says volume profile is life. Couldn't agree more, Darren. Could not agree more. But before we jump into it, guys, let's say what's up to the Candle Mafia, and then let's go ahead and jump right on into the price action here. But let's see. Let's scroll up, see who we got in here. We got Hannah King, and we got Jack of all trades, master of none, but a master of one is better than a master of all is better than a master than one. Shout out to Jack of all trades, and if you're a Jack of all trades out there, pat yourself on the back. Shout out to Hannah King, our princess of the Candle Mafia. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jessica, our female Candle Mafia representative. I didn't see her in here yet, but I think she is in here somewhere. She was in the stream earlier. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Crypto Billy, Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, D Petty Crypto, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy. Did I say Crypto Billy already? Captain Kirk. Shout out to our mods, guys. You know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. They help me out so much with the channel. And if you love Frankie Candles or the Candle Mafia, you gotta love the mods. So show them that love. We got Creighton C in the chat. Actually, that's Curtis Neal. Shout out to Curtis Neal. The C threw me off there, but shout out to Creighton C. I'm sure he's in here as well. Curtis Neal, I'm sure he's on a boat right now fishing for some lobsters. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being here. We got Nate Quantum Divergence joining the muscle, baby. Shout out to Nate Quantum Divergence. I appreciate you for getting that membership, bro. Shout out to you. We got Crypto Lady in the chat. What is up, Crypto Lady? Said pump or dump. We're going to be talking about it today, Crypto Lady. Shout out to you. We got Crypto 101 in the chat saying me. Crypto 101, you. Shout out to you. And, yeah, shout out to Paper Planes. What is going on, Paper Planes? Thank you for being here. We got Crypto Cowboy, Crypto Infinity, Raphael, B. Ricky. Hannah says Dave Digital's not here yet, Frank. Don't start. All right, we'll have to wait for Dave Digital. Mark the Shark, let's go. Crypto Main, what is going on? Dump this puppy, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Doc Holiday. What is going on? And Mr. Blake is quietly here. And shout out to I almost said Mrs. Candles. Shout out to Captain Kirk for gifting that Frankie Candles membership. And shout out to QWERTY for getting that gift, getting that gifted membership. But guys, with all that being said, we got Bitfrog in the house. We got Hodl Crypto in the house. We got Chris up in here. Let's go. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on into this thing we call Bitcoin. Try to figure out what this thing wants to do. Let's get into it. God, guys, woo! I feel good. I feel good after that live stream we did at 1:30, guys. It's like my favorite thing to just sit down and just spit that free value. It's like literally my favorite thing. I think it's got me all amped up. And shout out to Crypto Totoro. I don't think he's in here. Because he's actually was at the Hit Network today, and I got to meet Crypto Totoro. I think it's Crypto Totoro. But shout out to him, man. And his wife, I think, was very nice. They were both very down to earth, super cool people. Really cool to get to meet the CandleMafia. And shout out to them. It was really, really, really cool meeting them. But let's go ahead and continue on. We got Ragnar. What is going on? Welcome to the Muscle Brother. Shout out to Ragnar. Thank you for being here, and thank you for grabbing that membership. And without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the sauce here. And here we are, guys. Breaking news. Bitcoin. It's going sideways still. So, guys, obviously, we have been stuck in this range. You know, it's just like you can't make it up. It's like we've been going sideways basically since the start right here. 20 days, guys. This might wind up being a month of sideways action, but very boring price action right now, right? Obviously, trading this range has been beautiful. However, we're trying to figure out if this thing is going to rip out of this range to the upside, bring us to higher prices, or if we're going to get a rip back to the downside before turning around and coming up. So let's go ahead and turn off our TA and come all the way up to the higher time frames and see if, let's see if that's not what I wanted. Let me go ahead and go to our Bitstamp chart. Here we go. That's the Coinbase chart. Let's go to the, let's go to this chart. There we go. Okay, so here we are, guys, on the weekly time frame. Now, obviously, like just my general sentiment here, guys, I am extremely bullish on crypto overall right now, right? And I don't just mean in general. I mean, like right now, I'm pretty bullish, right? And you could go back to maybe Rob, shout out to Rob. Maybe someone could share that video. One of the mods can, or Tyler can share that video of bull market confirmed. If you're wondering why I'm so bullish right now, you can check out my Is the Bull Market confirmed video. Basically, I dive really deep into the cycles, and I talk about a lot of things that are signaling that the bottom is in, and we may be ready to basically wrap up this bear market and start gearing up for the next bull run as the halving approaches in less than a year. So definitely go check that out. But I'm overall, guys, very bullish on Bitcoin, and it all starts on the higher time frames. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Rockton Road says Frankie for life, bro. That live stream was a masterpiece and a masterclass. Shout out to Rockton, and this is why I'm telling you guys to go back and watch it, because I use the volume profiles as well as divergences every single day on this channel, and I think there could be a lot of unanswered questions that I might not see on these live streams. And again, I'm not just trying to push this video. It's because I keep getting comments like this, and if people are finding that video that useful, that I'm seeing the comments like stand out to me, it's probably worth it. So definitely go check that out. But starting off on the weekly, guys, and I'm just gonna start the stream off with this. I am bullish on crypto right now. I do think the bottom is more likely than not at 15.5, and I do think whether we get a massive push up to higher prices at around, 50K or, around these areas, or if we wind up coming down first before, kind of just accumulating here and getting that halving to come and give us that next bull run, I do think the bottom is more likely in, and I do think this bear market is essentially wrapping up. And I'm going to dig into my cycle chart really, really quickly, but definitely go check that video out as well, because I go really in detail on why I am so bullish on crypto right now, and it has a lot to do with the support resistance flip that we got right here. But anyway, starting off with that bullish outlook, guys, money flow on the weekly has crossed over into the green and has confirmed. Shout out to Kenton Smith gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. What is going on, guys? It's crazy how many memberships we've been gifting, or the CandleMafia has been gifting lately. Absolutely insane. But shout out to Kenton Smith for those 5 memberships. Shout out to Hannah King for the 5 memberships. Let's go. Couple top gifters out here. We appreciate you guys, and I know the Mafia does as well. But let's continue on here. Money flow crossover into the green here on the weekly is very bullish, guys. And I'm not going to go over exactly, back test it exactly like we usually do, because I've done that for the past 5 live streams in a row. Captain Kirk with the 5 membership. Let's go. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Absolutely savage. I knew I'd get Hannah started. Oh, God. Now Captain Kirk's jumping in on it. Shout out to Captain. But, yeah. Weekly money flow crossover confirmed in the green. This is very, 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 very bullish, guys. Just real quick. Last time in the last bear market, we crossed over into the green, faked out into the red, and then that next crossover into the green was essentially off to the races. Now, again, it does not mean that we just yeeted to all-time highs, but when zooming out and looking at things in terms of, macro, that money flow crosses over, we get a little pump, black swan event, and then essentially, you basically kind of went sideways and then up, right? And we're seeing something very similar where the money flow crosses over into the green, crosses back into the red, and now we are back into the green. This could very well be the money flow crossover, and this is why, this is one of the reasons, at least on a technical level, that I am so bullish on Bitcoin right now, and why I do think that there is a possibility of potentially, let me go ahead and get rid of this TA, of potentially breaking our current highs and coming up to some higher prices, specifically speaking about coming up to that 48 to 50K level, which is our macro golden pocket when you pull from the high, the all-time high, all the way to your all-time low as my mouse. Guys, you might get to see me on one of these live streams absolutely rage out and smash this mouse into a million pieces. I don't know what's going on with this. This is the most garbage mouse ever. I don't even know what it is. It's Razer. I thought Razer was a good company. Razer, I don't know. I don't know. Fix your mice. I don't know. Anyway, moving on here. I do think we will eventually could potentially get a move up to these levels, guys. Now, obviously, this is very far away, but it's getting closer and closer, right? And with this weekly money flow crossover, I am very bullish on crypto right now. So, again, listen, we could come down to lower lows, but I just don't really see it happening at least anytime soon. Not impossible. I'm not one of those people that's like, no, it's impossible. It's 500 likes, Frankie destroys the mouse. Crypto vol. I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea. Wired is always better. Yes, crypto main, 100%. I've now learned that the hard way. I kind of figured that would wind up being the case, but anyway. But yeah, this weekly money flow crossover, guys, again, bottom is likely in here, in my opinion. If we wind up coming down and it looks like we're going for lower lows, I will be the first person to tell you. Well, I guess the bears right now expecting lower lows are the first people to tell you, but as soon as my sentiment shifts, trust me, I will let you guys know. But as of right now, it is looking pretty dang good, guys, with this, especially the money flow crossover on the weekly. Now, in the shorter term, something to look at is that VWAP coming down towards that 0 line. Once we get that VWAP to cross down below this 0 line, we will get that red dot on the weekly, and that is likely going to give us a little bit more of a move to the downside, right? However, the money flow indicating the longer-term trend would indicate that if we get that red dot, this move down would likely only be a healthy correction before coming up and making a higher high. And again, that is because of the money flow. But with that VWAP cruising to the downside here, once that crosses over, that is likely to give us some kind of a move down. But again, looking for the higher low and a continuation up. Not looking for a massive dump down to 0. So, with that being said, let's move on. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on this bearish divergence on the weekly as well. This is here. It's not the strongest angle, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, not the strongest angle on here, but you will wind up printing it. Now, we are getting this on some lower time frames. Obviously, this did confirm on the 2-day time frame. And we did come down, slightly. We're kind of just bing-bonging around going sideways. But this is likely going to print on a lot of other time frames, right? This is going to print on the 4-day. The 3-day VWAP is also cooling off. This would indicate a potential move down. Your 4-day money flow is coming up pretty nicely, to be honest. Your 2-day is coming down. So, listen, the higher time frames are calling for more upside. The higher time frames, the ones that take time to play out. But now, and as you guys know, kind of my sentiment recently has been in favor of a move down and then our next leg up. However, as you guys know, we've been kind of very cautious about this, right? Because this daily looks extremely bullish. This daily looks extremely bullish, guys. We're getting the money flow crossover into the green at the same time as this green dot. That could wind up giving us a big move to the upside. This is very bullish. Like, look at the money flow. This is bullish, guys. And this is kind of what is making me very, very cautious. And again, the mixed signals are out here, right? Because again, your weekly VWAP is coming down. That would indicate more downside, right? Your 3-day is looking to print a red dot with money flow coming out. That would indicate more downside. The 2-day, even with the confirmed red dot and money flow coming out, although your VWAP is coming back up here, this would still, unless you print that green dot, you could get rejected at that 0 line. And then kind of one of the major things we've been looking at, guys, is this 4-hour money flow is just continuously coming to the downside. We faked into the red, faked back out into the green, but now we're coming out again. This is kind of the main bearish case in my opinion. The money flow on the 4-hour coming to the downside, as well as the 5-hour, the 6-hour, the 8-hour with the VWAP coming down as well. Even the 10-hour, a lot of these time frames are coming to the downside with your money flow. And that on top of your 2-day, your 3-day, or your 2-day confirmed red dot, your 3-day looking to print a red dot here potentially in 2 hours. This would indicate more downside. And then the caveat here is obviously the weekly money flow crossover is very bullish. We're in somewhat of bullish consolidation here. And oftentimes when you see a pattern like this, guys, now again, I'm not a big pattern trader. Price doesn't know that it's forming a pennant or a flag. Like, price does not know this. The price does not break out because it was in a pennant. The price breaks out because of buying and selling and liquidity, right? Like the pattern has nothing to do with why the price moves. It's just oftentimes when you see certain patterns, it indicates certain things happening in the market that could indicate a move to the upside. So just looking at this, though, typically when you get a big move up and you get sideways consolidation, this is generally like market 101. This is generally you consolidate before continuing to the upside. That's why bull flags and bull pennants are considered bullish continuation patterns because, it's not as much of a pennant anymore. It's very, kind of a wonky flag, just kind of a sideways range, to be honest. It's actually looking kind of Bart Simpson-y, in my opinion. But this is, you got to think this could potentially wind up breaking to the upside. But money flow certainly does not agree with that. The red dots on the higher time frames certainly don't agree with that. But the daily does indeed agree with that, guys. This is looking bullish on the daily. So again, I cannot wait to break out of this range because, as you guys know, if you watch the live stream of the past few days, you will know that essentially I have been treating this as a sideways range, and we have just been shorting the tops, longing the lows, shorting the highs, longing the lows, and just playing this bing bong game until we either break up or either break down, right? And daily is king. Yeah, Mr. B, the daily is a pretty high time frame, guys, and typically when you see it look bullish, it at least gives you some kind of a move. So again, I can't wait to break this range because things are very unclear right now. I like going back to the more predictable type market. But again, I am playing both ends of the coin here. I am looking for longs at the lows, looking for shorts at the highs, and then hopefully, whether we break up or we break down, I will be in a trade from the opposite end of that range, right? But as of right now, as I am here to do my job as Frankie Candles and read the charts and tell you what they are saying to me, it is very, 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 very difficult for me to give a straight answer. A lot of times on this channel, what I like to do is I like to give you the bullish case, the bearish case, and then let you know which way I am leaning, right? Like, hey, guys, anything can happen, so here's both cases, but right now, the technicals are pointing down, so I'm taking shorts, right? But right now, I have to say, I am pretty neutral right now just because of the mixed signals. So it doesn't make sense for me as a trader who makes money when the price goes up and down to really have a strong bias in either direction when I can just play both sides, right? So I will say this. I hate these days, but I probably lean a little bit more neutral now, guys. Again, the technicals, more technicals point to a move down than a move up. But this daily, and again, just because we're in a bullish environment here, like just in the macro, pretty bullish environment, we have the weekly money flow crossover, we could easily see the bulls just continue to push up here and all the shorts just continue to get wrecked, similar to what happened back here when we got one last push up. So with that being said, just be careful out there, guys. Don't be too decisive in either direction, because right now things are very, very unclear. So just be careful out there. But this daily, the news for today, one of the very small, rare things that have changed is the daily. Money flow crossing back into the green, daily green dot printing. I would really just like to see this money flow on the 4-hour come back up. But that's what we're looking at as far as macro signals. And again, just trying to play both sides of this, guys. But let's go ahead and take a look at some key levels here. Let me pull up the live stream chart. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Arms for gifting that Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. Shout out to Arms. Oh, 2 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Hannah, back at it again, gifting that membership. Let's go. We appreciate you, Hannah. And shout out to Wolf. Mr. Wolf, you're out of control, bro. Shout out to Mr. Wolf. We love you, man. Shout out to you. Gifted 5 Frankie Candles memberships. We got Captain in here, Kenton Smith. Everybody gifting the memberships. Captain Kirk with the super chat. Thank you for that, Cap. We appreciate you. Says Hannah King for mod. Hashtag girl power. I need a female counterpart. Let's go. Shout out to Captain Kirk. We'll definitely keep Hannah in mind when we're looking for more mods. That's for sure. As the channel grows, obviously, guys, we're going to be looking for more mods. So yeah, shout out to Hannah. We appreciate everything you do. And obviously, you are going to be on our mind. Dave, we will take a look at Algo. He says Algo looks tempting to dump. But let's continue on here, guys, and take a look at some key levels that I'm watching. And I want to show you guys kind of how I am handling the markets right now. Taking a look at Bitcoin, except we want to take a look at the Bitstamp chart. So let's go ahead and take a look here, right? So zooming in here, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm actually going to turn off the order blocks really quickly. Go away. Come on. There we go. So here we are, guys. Like, just bing-bonging around in our sideways range. And I'll actually go ahead and pull this range so you guys know exactly what I'm looking at. And I will just adjust this level, and I will adjust this level. And the POC is in the middle here. So I'm actually going to go ahead back to just clean up the candles really quickly here. But here's the thing, guys. We are kind of creeping up. We've crept up towards that value area high. I'm going to go to regular candles. We came up to our value area high, and we rejected, right? Came up, tested that golden pocket. This was a trade we put in the premium Discord, or a trade setup we put in the premium Discord yesterday as we came up and tested that local golden pocket to put in that lower high, right? You have your high, low, lower high. And we could be kind of looking to create a lower low, right? But again, we talk about on the channel, again, just some free education here. We always talk about those lower highs coming in at those local golden pocket retracement levels, right? So if you're looking at this chart right now and you're looking like, hey, I missed the short entry from up here, unfortunately, but I think it's going to continue down because 4-hour money flow is coming out, et cetera, et cetera. You're expecting it to come down, so you're looking to re-enter a short. What do? Well, I would tell you to sit on your hands. Wait for price to make the move down and wait for the retracement, right? And where are you? And then basically what you want to do is wait for price to come down, wait for the bounce, and then you want to enter your short on the retracement. But where does that retracement come in? Well, we use the Fibonacci golden pocket and 786 retracement levels to find these areas on the chart where price is likely to put in a lower high, right? To start that downtrend. So I pulled from the high of the move all the way to the low of the move, right? From wick to wick. And where is our local golden pocket? Well, our local golden pocket is right here. Look how beautiful that is. And what happened? Price came up. It was a long, painful process, but eventually we came up to test that local golden pocket. Sometimes you like to come up and reject that 786 as well, so you're always keeping your eye on that. But we did have some confluence here between the golden pocket and our value area high of the range. And again, we talk about these retracements all the time on the live streams, and you could just see time and time again. You come up to that golden pocket, put in the reversal, and then you put in that lower high and come down. Now, potentially, I don't know if this is the case. I might be making a fool of myself here, but this could have been a golden pocket retest as well. Let's test it. So to check if this was a golden pocket rejection, we could look to pull from the high to the low of that move, and look at that. From the high to the low, where's that golden pocket come in? Right where we rejected. And again, you had confluence between the golden pocket and the value area high. So if you're writing down notes right now, trying to learn from Frankie Candles, put that in your notebook and take that sauce, pack it up to go, because that is going to come in handy for you when you're trading and you miss those short entries and you want to get back into that. You want to get back into that short without trying to short on a red candle here and then winding up getting, stopped out of your trade when you come up for the actual retracement, right? So sit on your hands, wait for price to come down, wait for the retracement back up to your level, have your trap set, right? So if I had a short bias, right, as we were dumping here, and I'm expecting a move up and then a continuation down, I would pull my fib here, and I would not do anything until price approached my trap, and then I'm looking for the shorts, and then obviously we got accepted back into the range, and now, again, we could potentially continue to reject here, but again, the daily would have other plans for price, because again, that daily is looking super bullish. But coming back down to the lower time frames, key levels of resistance, guys, I would probably even, right? Like, this is the range that I'm playing, right? Like, I'm just day trading these ranges, and it's been working out very, very well. However, I would probably go ahead and keep a closer eye on our macro range, right? So let me go ahead and hide some of this stuff so I could just bring up, right? I would probably be keeping on, obviously I'm watching that local range for trades. However, our key levels are more macro, right? Because I don't care if we break out of this local range, right? Because if we break out of this local range, we might just do one of these little fake out things. So why stress yourself out on trying to look at this as a key level? This is kind of just a local level I'd be looking to trade. But really the key level is up here, right? Because this is a local level. You could easily come up out of here and then get accepted back down. So granted, these levels are very useful when trading. I'm going to get rid of them for now and take a look at more of the macro levels because those are going to be the more important levels to watch, right? So if we wind up continuing to get a move up here, guys, your real key level of resistance does remain the same as yesterday, and it is the previous value area high at $31,405. And if you saw our live stream earlier today at 1:30, you'll know exactly how I got these levels and why they're respected so well. First thing I said to Tony D when I got off that stream was he texted me something about I had to shoot a video right after, and he texted me like, hey, we got to shoot that video. Let's go. And I was like, you think I gave away too much sauce? And he's like, no, you never give away too much sauce. Let's go. But anyway, continuing on here, this is going to be your key level of resistance because the reason this is our key level of resistance, again, I am not just making these fugazi levels that I'm just calling key because I think it's a strong level, right? There's a reason why I am calling this a key level, right? And the reason is because it's a previous value area high. So if we wind up breaking out of here decisively, it would open the door to come up to some of our higher prices, coming in between, I would say, like main levels, 32 to 33K. And that is going to be, again, why that is our key level. Because if we break above this value area high, we could wind up leaving the value area and then going to hunt for a new value area. That is what price does, guys. And I'm going to talk about the volume profile a little bit today just because it's fresh on my mind, right? Price will range because there is balance here. This is a fair price for Bitcoin, but eventually people are going to push this price up and it will find imbalance. And price is ranging 80% of the time. So you're ranging and then you find imbalance. And when you find imbalance and you leave a range, price will go hunt out another area of balance or another value area or another volume profile, or simply put, it will just go hunt out another range, or it will create a new one, right? So this is basically what we could do is zoom out here, right? Like, where is our next range? Well, if we zoom out, you can see there's not really much. Like, this was a quick move down, right? So it could wind up being a quick move up, right? So if you take a look here and we zoom out, let's go to the daily time frame here and zoom out, right? Or I guess zoom in. But you can see right here, if we crack these levels, our next real level of resistance is going to be at about 32K. And you can see this little gap. Your shelf of volume does wind up coming in at about 32K. And I will just go ahead, 3250, right? So that I put the level there, but it's not showing because we're hiding things right now. But that is probably going to be the next immediate stop is 32K. I will be looking for scalp shorts at that level. But guys, we know that if we break this level and we're able to hold above support here, it could wind up opening the door. Like, where's our next range, right? Because when we were, let me spit this real quick, guys. Let me spit this. When we were down here, and I talked about this earlier today, so I'm sorry if this is repetitive for some people, but it probably doesn't hurt to hear it a second time. When we were down here, we were looking for the possibility of getting accepted. Let me pull up a fresh chart. We were looking for the possibility again, let me go back in time here. When we were down here. Come on. Boom, right? So when we were down here, we were looking at the possibility of a breakout, right? And we knew that there was not much volume here. Let me turn on the VPVR again, right? We knew that we had a gap like right here up to about 28.8K. You guys will remember that's a level I talked about forever, right? 28.8K. This was a very, very important level that we were watching. And we were saying, well, hey, we had a little range here. This is definitely a value area, right? So let's pull a range on it. So I pulled a little bit of a range on here, right? And we took the value area high, the POC, and the value area low of this area of consolidation. And I'm just going to delete this because I already have it drawn out. We did this. We pulled the range, we pulled the low, we pulled the POC, and we pulled the high. And we extended it to the right. And we said, if price continues up here, we're probably going to find some serious resistance here. And then if we can get back above this area and hold above this value area low, we may be able to come all the way up to the value area high at about 31K. And that sounded crazy at the time. I remember people saying, this guy's a moon boy, right? But obviously, if we play our price action through, we wound up coming up here, and we indeed found resistance right at that level, right? We bing-bonged around here for quite some time. This is actually a very boring, this reminds me a little bit about where we are right now in the market, where you have the bullish consolidation, but you're just sitting here, like even here. We were sitting here for quite some time, guys. Like, look at this. 22 days, almost the same exact amount of time. Like, right, we're in the range we're in currently for about 20 days. This was 22 days before you got the breakout. But look, it acted as resistance. We caught a bunch of nice shorts off this level, but we are now looking at this saying, if we are able to get above this level, flip it to support, we may be able to get accepted back into the range and come up to the high. And obviously, I mean, we know what happened, right? Obviously, we wound up popping through, and what happened? We came right to the POC, and then we went to the value area high. So this is where I got that level of resistance from. And then what happened after that, guys? We basically respected these levels. We bing-banged around here for quite some time. We kind of just went up and down, and then eventually we lost it again, and then we came back up, tested the POC, and then we rejected it, came down lower, right? But notice how these levels are respected. Look how well they're respected. And then we came back up, and what happened? We got accepted back into the range. We came right up to the value area high, and what happened at the value area high? We got rejected again, which would be expected. Right? So, and there's a method to this madness, guys. Stick with me here. And this is basically where we are today. We're bing-bonging around between the value area high and the POC. Now, why is this important? Frankie Candles, why did you go all the way back in time to explain all this to us? Because we could do the same thing. Now, granted, it might not be exactly the same as this, but we could use that same theory to find out where our next leg. We're going to do the same thing, but on the next leg up, right? And what I would do here is I would basically look for another area of consolidation. And where is the next area of consolidation? Well, if you look at the chart here, it's kind of right here, to be honest with you, right? Like, you had this kind of like ascending channel that we had. I'll never forget this point in the market. I'll remember this forever. People thought this, actually, no, it wasn't here. It was down here that people thought this was the new bottom for Bitcoin. And I was like, this is 30K. We haven't even touched the all-time high from last cycle. But anyway, we had this somewhat of an ascending channel, right? But you could look at this as a sideways range, essentially, right? So, but what is here, guys? What is, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom in, I'm sorry. What is right here? This is a quick move to the downside. And what is that? How does that show up in the volume? Well, there's a big gap here. We talked about this earlier on the Bing X stream, right? When you have these big gaps, typically you get quick moves down, right? Or quick moves up. You can see you had a quick move up through this level as well. If I just drew a box on this gap, guys, look at this. That gap highlights these quick moves up, quick moves down. Anytime we enter this box, we typically get quick moves through it, right? We don't like to hang out in this box very often. And it's because of the volume gap right here. Now, I'm going to delete this, right? And so what can we expect? Like, how can we use this to try to predict what price is going to do? And I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Let me grab my brush tool, right? If we crack this value area high, this is, again, the question I'm answering here is, why is this a key level of resistance? And the reason is because if we're able to break this level due to the volume profiles, because of the volume profiles, we're able to assume or make an educated guess that if we crack this high decisively, there's not much volume above us holding us back. Now, do we have resistance here? Yes. You have a little high volume node here, little high volume node here, little high volume node here, which is likely to cause some turbulence, right? So it might not be a quick shot up or an immediate straight line to the upside, but really, what is price going to do? Like I said, I just said price ranges 80% of the time. It ranges kind of a downward range here, but then it finds imbalance, and then it finds balance again. And then it might find imbalance, and then it might find balance again, right? And we could look for those previous value areas to find out where those areas of balance are. And if we know that price hunts out those areas of balance or those value areas, we can assume that if we find another area of balance, which I would go ahead and say this is probably the next most likely range that we would approach, we can assume or estimate that if we break this current value area high, we could bounce off the high, move through the low volume gap pretty quickly, right? Like I said, there are some levels in there. But eventually, we're going to wind up working our way up. And where is price going to hunt? It's going to look for the next high volume node, right? Because like I said, you will fly through the low volume nodes very quickly, or the gaps very quickly, and price will seek a high volume node. It likes to go to the high volume node. And if you're looking at this high volume node as the next area that price will likely seek, right? Like I'm sure this makes sense. I'm sure I'm over-explaining this, but like price sticks around here. What is the reason for that? Well, you had a high volume node. Well, why did price shoot up so fast through here? Well, you had a really low volume node, right? It's very simple. Now, if we break out here, we may be able to think, hey, maybe we'll get a quick move through the gap, right? Somewhat of a quick move through the gap, and we're probably going to go hunt out that next high volume node. The high volume nodes are magnets. The low volume nodes are like repellent, right? Like you don't like to stick around in the low volume nodes, but the high volume nodes act as a magnet, as I just showed you, right? High volume node, price clings to it. High volume node, price clings to it, right? And price also clung to it right here, right? So if we're at a high volume node now and we decide to find imbalance and price goes to hunt out a new value area, it's going to hunt for the next high volume node. Now, again, it's not going to be a straight shot likely, but it is going to hunt that next high volume node. And the fact that we have a little bit of a fall off in volume here, again, not the biggest gap, but enough to make us get a move up to this high volume node up here. And if you look to the left, we do have a range, and we can now look at these levels in the same way that we looked at those previous levels, right? Just like we were looking at the levels from back here, and we were using them accurately back here, or we looked back here and then looked forward, and we were able to use those levels here, we could look back at this range and say, hey, if we're able to get back in here, we might be able to come back up here in range. And from what I can see, this is an area of balance, right? Like up here, that does look like a value area, and if we could wind up getting back up to that high volume node, what is likely to happen? Well, price might cling to that high volume node like it did all the way back here, right? So hopefully this is making sense for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines. Now, it may not be that simple, right? Because if you zoom out a little bit, you can see we kind of danced around here. That low volume gap I was talking about isn't that big of a low volume gap, to be honest, right? Like, obviously, we got the quick move up, quick move down, and we could see that happen, but we did have a lot of volume created, basically coming from right here, right? Like, this created a pretty decent chunk in volume, right? Again, the higher area of volume is in line with this range, right? But you do still have a decent chunk in volume here, and you could see it was likely created by this price action here. So keep that in mind, but I basically just want to get the theory behind what I look for through to you guys, right? Because if we do fly through this gap, which is definitely possible, we're going to hunt out that next high volume node coming in between about 37 and the value area high at $44,000. So this could be a higher target that I would be looking for. Now, with that being said, it is likely not going to be the next area of resistance. Like, we're not just going to fly up here. We do have some levels of resistance, and we'll talk about them right now. First level would be right here. Right here, this wick, I'm going to use the magnet tool. This wick right here is likely to give us some resistance, and it is coming in at about 32.9, almost 33K even. That is likely going to give us a little bump on the head, right? If we get up there, we're probably going to react off that. And again, zooming out again, like, look at where that volume gap we just talked about was. Right here, this tiny little volume gap. Not the big one we were talking about, this little one earlier. This tiny little gap. We could easily fly through that gap. And where's the next highest volume node? The closest high volume node would be right here, right? You can see that you have that little spike in volume right here, which is in correlation with that wick, right? We also have this wick down here coming in at about 34.3. This would be another key level I'd be watching to the upside if we do wind up getting this breakout. would be another level I would watch, right? So you guys can kind of see, like, obviously there's going to be some noise on the way up. We might come up, put in a bear div here, and then get a rejection back into this value area, and then finally get a break higher. It's likely going to be a very messy ride. However, this is how you can use the volume profile to find these levels, and this is just kind of the next levels I would expect to get some turbulence at. So again, up here at about 32, about 32.9 and 34K, this is likely going to be our next immediate level of resistance, right? And then if we start ranging around up here, guys, right? Well, look at this. Circle that range and draw a straight line. I'm going to try to draw this as straight as possible. But look, you have this kind of ranging around action over here, so we may see the same thing happen, you know, in the current price action. But again, for the most part, that next real value area is up here between about 44 and about 37.6K. And that is our next, like, real value area that I can see other than this area that I just talked about, you know, basically between the value area high at 31K and the wicks over here at about 34,350. So other than that, guys, these are some of the levels I'd be looking at to the upside. And then again, before I wrap this part of the stream up, I do just want to point out, I'm going to hide that range. I'm going to hide this range. Another thing we can watch is the volume profile from the top of the bull run, right? Like, again, this is like part of the reason why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin right now. If I pull this range, look at the value area low. Now, this is a little bit different depending on where you pull it from, but look at this value area low. This is a macro value area low. And this, if we wind up, I mean, maybe we come down and test this as support. Like I said, if that 4-hour money flow coming out winds up giving us a little bit of a dip, this will be a great place to come test. Now, this level is coming in at about 28.8K. Remember, we've been talking about 28.8K. It's been a key level time and time again every time we come up to it. And it winds up working out great, right? So if we get a pullback, 28.8K would be a big level to watch. And if we tap that and we're able to hold support here, we may be able to get accepted, although we're looking at the smaller ranges as well, right? We're looking at this as a value area. We're looking at this as a value area. But you can also, in the same way, look at all of this as a macro value area, right? So if we hold this as support, where would the next likely place for Bitcoin be? Like, where would the next likely spot for Bitcoin to go be? Creighton C. Is Creighton here today? Tanner A. Oh, no, Creighton C is here. Creighton, let them know where we're going if we hold support here on the value area low. Price is most likely going to visit Creighton? Creighton? The POC, exactly. Shout out to Creighton C, the POC. They don't call him Creighton C for nothing. It's based off the point of control. Anyway, if we get accepted here, we could expect potentially to come up to this point of control at 34,550. Right? And if we get above that level, we could potentially come up to the value area high at about 48K. Now, why does that make a lot of sense if we were to come up there? Well, if you pull your macro golden pocket from the high all the way to the low of the bear market, look at the confluence of that value area high and local and macro golden pocket. It would make a lot of sense if we do wind up getting up there. So that is what I am. Like Jordan C said POC as well. Guys, if you got C in your last name, I did it. I'm a big boy. When cookie. There you go. Thank you, Hodl Crypto, for giving Creighton his cookie. Shout out to Creighton C. And shout out to Jordan C, who also said POC. But this is, I just want to, like, this is how I'm looking at the markets, guys. And it's worked out really well for us in the past. So these are the key levels I'm looking at. If we come back down and we do get a little bit of a dump before our next move up, which, again, the 4-hour would call for. The daily, not so much. The daily's just saying it wants to yeet to the upside right now, which is definitely possible. But if we do get a move down, that 28.8K level is definitely going to be a big level to watch. Because if we hold that level as support, could open up the door to much, much, much higher prices. And again, with the weekly money flow crossover into the green, now confirmed, it's definitely, it's in the cards more than it ever has been, right? So this is why I'm bullish on Bitcoin. But I do just want to be clear, just because I said I'm bullish on Bitcoin right now, doesn't mean that you can't get short-term noise, right? So again, that 4 hours calling for more downside. So we could easily get a pullback before that next move up, but I would just be careful waiting for that just because of the way that daily looks right now. If we're going to yeet to the upside, this daily might just decide to push us up right now, right? So just be careful. Like I said, this is why I'm leaning neutral because like in the longer term, things definitely look really good. I'm not going to lie. It looks very, very, very bullish. But in the medium term, in the short term, things are very unclear. Meaning, I don't know if we're going to get a small move down before our next move up, or if we're just going to yeet up from here. So that's kind of up in the air right now. I wish I could clarify that, but the charts are just not giving us the right information. So like I said, that's why I show you guys those lower time frames, and I show you those more local ranges that I'm trading. And I mean, and look at this, guys. Like where's our next high volume node? Right? Like, look at this massive high volume node. Price is clinging to the node. If we break the lows decisively, we will likely fall into the low volume gap and come down to this level. Well, what is this level? Well, hey, it's 28.8K. Right? Which is also very, very, very close to the value area low of our macro range. It actually is, depending on where you pull that range from back in May of 2022, you can actually get the value area low to come up to 28.8K. So there you go. And that is where I'm getting these key levels from, and that is what I'm expecting in the medium term, right, and long term. Short term is just a little unclear. Are we going to get a little yeet down and then a move up, or are we just going to go ahead and just bing bong right out of here? Very hard to say. But again, if you trade the volume profiles like we do, it's a beautiful thing because we can just be ready in either position. So guys, that is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. If we do get this move up before a move down, and again, I will say this, that 4 hour is calling for more downside. But if this daily decides to yeet us out, I do think it will be based off this green dot confirming and the money flow just absolutely pushing us up. Understand this as well, guys. I believe we do have, is it CPI coming out tomorrow? Does anybody know? Let's see. I think it's CPI. There is news coming out tomorrow. I think there's more than just that. We do have news coming out tomorrow, so likely going to be very volatile tomorrow. So I do think if we're going to break the range, hopefully it's going to happen tomorrow, and we can start a new range and get some new price action and more clear technical signals. So we're not just sitting in no man's land here anymore. But let's go ahead and move. Yeah, CPI. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, inflation print as well. PPI Friday. Is that true? But yeah, guys, that is what we're looking for. Look out for that volatility tomorrow. Hopefully, again, if this daily, stays intact, we may get that push up. But be careful tomorrow because the volatility is likely to strike. Yeah, Jordan C. Shout out to Jordan C, guys. I'm telling you right now, I always tell you guys, hey, go check out this video. You could win the giveaways. Or if I make a new video, I say go check it out. But this one, I just keep, we get a lot of good comments, right? We got a lot of positive feedback. We got negative feedback too, but we got positive feedback for the most part. But it's never stood out to me like this. Jordan C., thank you so much for this. Said, your video from a few hours ago was great. Great job, Sir Candles. Thank you for that, bro. So yeah, guys, I really did drop some sauce in there. So definitely go check that out. But anyway, let's see. Crimson Caravan Company, what is going on? Let's go. PPI Thursday. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for that. Let's go. Just ran 2 miles while watching your TA, and I only have one question for you. Why? I'm just kidding. That's his name. Shout out to Y. That's crazy. Running 2 miles. Dang, not bad. That's mega productive. I'm just doing the TA. You're doing the TA and running, or listening to the TA and running? Jeez. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Mafia Mama. I like that. I like that, Captain. Let's go. Says, Mama knows best. Listen to Frankie. Let's go. Shout out to Captain Kirk. But let's continue on here, guys. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. And with that being said, again, just remember, the key levels here are essentially going to be key resistance, value area high, 30,895, POC, 29, almost 30K even. And then your value area low is coming in. I would argue it's a range between 28.8K. I'll make this blue so you can tell the difference here, is a range between 28.8K and 28.5K. So if we come down into this is the key levels. Your high, your POC, and your low. These are the key levels to watch. I'm not expecting much more upside for Bitcoin until we leave this value area, and I'm not expecting more downside until we lose this value area to the downside. So there you go. Shout out to Jordan C. Said, some shekels, trade it. Shout out to Jordan C. I appreciate that super chat, bro. Some shekels. Let's go. Shout out to Jordan C. I appreciate the kind comment and the super chat. Let's see. Laser Edit said, can I get a free Discord, please? We do have a link to the free Discord in the description down below. You should be able to get in there through that. You might be asking for a premium Discord membership, and if you comment and like on our videos, you will have a chance to win that on Friday's giveaway. Hey, shout out to Dave Digital said, and back at work right now. Hashtag working with a U. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital. Always in the stream. Never misses it, and we appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Alex O. Hey, what's going on, brother? Says, smash that sub. Get this beautiful, genuine, handsome man to 50K. Love you, Frank. Well, Alex, oh, I love you right back there, bro. Shout out to you. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're from Australia, right? But you're not Australian? I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but I think you're from Australia. And if you live in Australia, I've never been there. I've always wanted to go. Do you recommend me to come visit there? Because it's kind of on my bucket list. I don't know why. I feel like everyone wants to go to Bali or some kind of tropical place. I want to go to Australia. I just feel like hanging out with kangaroos. I feel like Australian people are super cool. Like I've met some Australian people, and they're just like, I don't know. They're like no BS though. Like they're like the they don't mess around. But shout out to Alex O. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I love you back, man. Just OG of the channel, man. You've been here forever, and I really do appreciate you a lot. Canada, that's right. Oh yeah, much love. Are you from Canada or you live in Canada? Or maybe you live in Canada. That's what it was. Why did I think Australia? I don't know why, but shout out to Alex O Crypto. I appreciate you, bro. But guys, let's continue on. We got 640 viewers, 300 and something likes. I can't see the extra numbers. But shout out to you guys. Let's get 550 likes, and we'll spin that wheel 10 times. And with that being said, go ahead and spam your altcoins. I feel like I'm asking a lot, guys. Spam your altcoins. If you want me to look at your altcoins, you got to smash the like button. This Frankie Candles guy's kind of needy. I mean, it sounds like I'm kind of needy. Oh, okay, yeah, shout out to, so I was kind of right. Shout out to Alex says, I'm from Canada, living in Australia. Love you, Frank. Love you back, Alex. And yeah, interesting, man. How'd you wind up in Australia? That's so cool. I think that might be like the next. I think that might be like the next step for Frankie Candles, like maybe some bull market stuff, or maybe next bear market. I want to do like lifestyle type stuff where like I'm still doing the live streams, I'm still doing the tutorials, like YouTube channel still cooking full speed, obviously. But I'm more like traveling around, right? Like you know, spending some of the bull market gains, you know, just doing some traveling, but like also being able to hang out with the fam, the mafia, and doing that TA every single weekday at 5:45. You know, just having a new office every day. I think that'd be really cool. It's kind of like a dream of mine. That would be awesome. But yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, shoot. Yeah, the spiders are crazy in Australia. I have seen those videos. Actually, maybe I don't want to go to Australia. I actually hate spiders. I don't hate all bugs. Like you could put a cockroach that's this big on me, and those don't bother me for some reason. A spider, you could put a daddy long legs on me, and I'll like throw up. I don't know what it is. Something about the legs. I don't know. They freak me out. Let's see. While you guys are spamming those altcoins and Rob is counting up the votes, I'm going to take a look at Ethereum, and I'm just going to read through some chat here, just interact a little bit with the Mafia. Just got in late, but I'm here. Harley, welcome in. Hopefully you parked your Harley outside. It was really loud when you brought that motorcycle in earlier or yesterday. Shout out to Harley. Let's see. Zindagi Photo. Shout out to you, man. Says, come visit Cambodia if you're heading to Australia. Would love to show you around. Okay, interesting. Shout out to you, bro. Maybe we'll have to do that. That'd be sick. Maybe we make that part of the content, like in the next bear market or maybe in the bull market. Like Frankie Candles goes to Australia and meets up with Alex, or Frankie Candles goes to Cambodia and meets up with Zindagi, right? Like, and like we just meet CandleMafia members or something. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Norris the boss says, the women are crazy as well. Interesting. Oh, God. Guys, don't put those Tony D, you're a menace, bro. Hannah King, you literally made me jump. I'm just kidding. I'm not that scared of spiders. But you guys are funny. Shout out to Mika. Hopefully I'm saying that right. At Tony D. He said he can't get the Discord link to work. People say that all the time, but apparently I don't know what's going on with that. But let's see. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. That's Bitcoin. I don't know why I clicked that. But let's see here. That is, oh, here we are, live stream, and let's go to Ethereum. And here we are, guys. Here we are. Let me go ahead and get rid of our VPVR, and let's zoom in here. Let's zoom in. So here we are, right? Like, I mean, God, man, like, Ethereum's almost as lost profit in the house. What is going on, bro? We got David Volted Maui Dragon. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. Caspa. We're actually, speaking of Caspa, guys, Going to be releasing a video today. This week's Sunday Sauce is going to be on Caspa. So if you're interested in Caspa, we're going to be taking a quick look at Caspa and how many coins you're going to have to accumulate to become a millionaire in the next bull market if you were just holding Caspa. But let's see. Yes, Frankie and Creighton go to Australia. It's an action movie, lots of nudity. Shout out to Creighton C. I mean, you got to be aerodynamic when you're in those action sequences, running away from bad guys or fighting the bad guys. You got to be aerodynamic. So, I mean, hey, I'm all about aerodynamics. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go. Shout out to Creighton C. Should come to Newfoundland. I will show you around. Shout out to Hannah. Wow, we got Mafia all over the place. Mr. Mafia Worldwide, Mr. Candles Worldwide. Shout out to Pitbull. Donato Cabrera in the house. Shout out to you, bro. Time to convince Grandma to buy ETH, I guess. Shout out to you, man. But here we go, guys. Taking a look at ETH. Obviously, we are looking at these levels, and I'll be honest. I didn't think there was anything that could look as boring as Bitcoin, and Ethereum just creeping up right behind Bitcoin as the top boring coin to look at. So, yeah, literally nothing has happened since yesterday. Just bing-bonging around here, just in a sideways range. Again, your money flow would suggest movement to the downside before another move up. Yeah, like money flow clearly coming out here, right? Bing, bong. 6 hour money flow in the red coming up, right? So this is actually a little conflicting there, but VWAP is coming down. Your 4 hours. So this does look a little bit different than Bitcoin. Money flow is way in the red here, right? Money flow is deep in the red, actually still coming out, but looking for that 4 hour green dot. Oh, God, man. Ethereum just looking really confusing. Money flow coming back up on your daily, looking very similar to Bitcoin, except Bitcoin's got the green dot as well. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum looking just as confusing as Bitcoin. 3-day red dot printing on Ethereum. Excuse me, 2-day red dot is confirmed with your V. This looks the same as Bitcoin, to be honest with you. It's ahead on the 3-day slightly. 4 days coming down. Your weekly VWAP is also coming down. I mean, this looks very similar to Bitcoin. But with that, I would be looking at these levels. I'll give you the macro levels. The macro levels, key level of resistance, is going to be 1922. I would be careful of potential liquidity grabs up here above these highs before potentially reversing back down. But your key level of resistance is going to be the value area high coming in at 1922. Your POC right about here is coming in at 1818. That is going to be your immediate level of support that I would be looking for. And then if you break below that POC and get a move down to your value area low, that is coming in at 1734, which would be a very, very important level of resistance or support to hold. And yeah, I remember like a while ago saying that like a $2,000 ETH might be on the way. And, it's crazy. It's like, it sounds crazy. Like how long was that? I think we were hanging out in this range down here potentially, or even down here saying a $2,000 ETH might be plausible. And almost just a month later, it comes up to 2K. It seems so much further. That's why I say like Bitcoin to 50K seems crazy. But things can happen fast when crypto goes bullish, guys. But those are the key levels. These are the key levels I would be looking at on Ethereum as far as the macro levels. More locally, just like Bitcoin, we have the macro levels, and then we have the local levels. I would simply just pull this range right here, just on this local range, right? So your resistance remains the same, but your local POC is coming in at 1880 essentially, and then your local value area low is coming in at 1851. So that would be a level that I would be looking for. Maybe you kind of bing-bong around in your local range still. But again, until we break out of this macro value area high, I'm not expecting much higher prices for Ethereum. And until we break out of this, well, the POC, I wouldn't really expect moves to the downside of any kind of, crazy degree unless we break that POC and come down to 1730. And in that case, if we break this, then you could start talking about much lower prices. But Ethereum looking very, very similar, very, very similar to Bitcoin. And then real quick, before I move on to the altcoins, guys, I will go ahead and I want to take a look at that DXY. And I've done this recently, and one of the main things that is making me feel, yeah, guys, look at this DXY. Look at the DXY, guys. money flow on the weekly coming to the downside. This is looking for a crossover into the red. And what happened? Like, I'm going to do this. Let me spit this real quick. We're going to go side by side. Bitcoin versus the DXY. I'm going to come to the weekly. Okay, so we're on the weekly on both, right? We have Bitcoin on the right, and I'm going to pull my face out for a second. We have DXY on the left. We have Bitcoin on the right, and you guys can see my cursor on both charts. That's important because we're going to be comparing them, right? So typically, guys, when money flow crosses over here on Bitcoin into the red, that typically means that the top is in, and we're likely going to see much more downside for a bear market, right? And we wound up seeing that perfectly once you get that money flow crossover into the red. But now we're crossing into the green, right? And you can notice here, once that money flow was starting to come out aggressively on Bitcoin, what was happening on the DXY? Money flow was crossing into the green on the weekly, right? So money flow crosses into the green on the DXY on the weekly. Typically, that is, close to the top for Bitcoin, right? Money flow crosses over into the green, and very, very shortly after that, you top out, and then the DXY rips, and Bitcoin absolutely nukes, right? Now, in that same thought process, once the money flow crosses over into the red on the DXY, let's see what happens, right? On the DXY here, money flow on the weekly crosses into the red, and where are we there in the cycle at that point, right? Once that money flow crosses over into the red, let me go ahead and mark this out with a vertical line, right? So you got it right there. And where is that on Bitcoin? Well, it's right at the end, kind of the end of the bear market, beginning of the bull run, right before you see the parabolic run to the upside. So that is something you can keep an eye on, right? Money flow crosses over into the red, basically starts the bull market for Bitcoin. Money flow crosses into the green, basically starts the bull run. And what is about to happen here, guys? We are looking for the crossover into the red. Now, I want to be very clear. This does not mean that we are instantly going to get a rip to 100K. It is likely going to be confusing and choppy, and we might even dump once that money flow crosses into the red short term. But long term is a very, very, very bullish thing for Bitcoin. So just keep an eye on that. This is getting closer and closer to a crossover into the red. Absolutely just asking for it here. And if that does wind up happening and we decisively get down there and we confirm it, that will be an extremely bullish case for Bitcoin. So just another one of the puzzle pieces that makes me very bullish on Bitcoin in the medium to long term. All right, let's continue on here. TikTok, next block, bing bong, going long. Let's go. Shout out to Paul Wood. Let's see. How do you like Uphold? I actually don't use Uphold, so I will say, maybe, I don't know if you're asking me. Shout out to Ayo. Ayo, shout out to you, bro. Karam bin, I'm trying to be real careful with these names, guys. We almost got caught up one time. Almost said something really bad, but that guy's banned now. But he said he was friendly, so maybe he's in here with a different name. I hope so. Anyway, let's see. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob. Let's go ahead and pin. Bada boom. Is it up? There we go. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into the I bought on KuCoin and now will be all Mexi. Shout out to Crypto Maniac. Let's go. Shout out to Mexi. I like Mexi as well. I've actually been using Mexi behind the scenes a bit. Probably going to wind up using it a lot more. But we're trying to find alternatives to KuCoin, as KuCoin is going to start KYCing, which is going to cause a lot of people some trouble here. When hey, my mom in the chat. Is that the case? Dave Digital with a super chat. Acknowledge your mama, boy. Hang on. Oh, Linda. Hey, Dave Digital. I'm yaying. I don't know what yaying means, Mom. I don't know what that is. Shout out to my mom, guys. Mama Candle's in the chat. She is the original creator of the sauce. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Tony said tune in for MXC deal for the Mafia. Let's go. Yelling. Shout out to my mom. If you're still here, Mom, I miss you. And hopefully I get to see you soon. Guys, I'm Italian. I'm a mama's boy. I'm not afraid of it. I'll say it in front of hundreds of people on the internet. I don't care. Smash that like button for Frankie Candle's mom. Going for 550 likes on tonight's live stream to give away some free stuff, guys. Let's go. But let's go ahead and start moving on to our altcoins. Starting off with Waves. We haven't looked at Waves in a long time. I always do this. Where is it? Bada boom. Guys, I've been talking a whole lot today, and I feel like my voice is getting I feel like my voice is getting my voice is getting hoarse. Let's see. Bob said, "Stop screaming." ... I appreciate the bleep there. Let's see. Not sure. It'll happily after time, though. Same story with Casper. It wasn't available to withdraw and now is. Okay, interesting. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue on. We got V-Slim in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to V-Slim. Gonna be lost without KuCoin. Sean? Oh, that guy was telling me to stop screaming? Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. I don't know. There's people who talk quieter out there. It's just part of my personality. I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Wakely says he's loud all the time. That's just how it goes. Let's see. Frankie, do you know anything about the parallel avatars that minted today? I do not. Not a huge NFT guy. I basically lean on DZ for my NFT stuff. But, guys, let's take a look at waves here real quick. And, yeah, shout out to my mom. All right, let's see. Taking a look at waves. Taking a look at the daily. Ugh, things just look so ugly right now, guys. 16-hour. Red dot confirmed. Things just look so gross. Your daily money flow is crossing over into the green. This would be more of a bullish. Yeah, this would be bullish in the medium term here. But your VWAP here, if you zoom into the VWAP is coming down, so you might cool off short term. But money flow in the green on the daily is going to be a longer term bullish situation. And then coming up to the higher time frames, your 2-day money flow is coming up pretty nicely on waves. This actually doesn't look too bad. Your 3-day money flow is coming up for the most part. You are coming back down just a little bit here, but you could easily curve back up here. Yeah, you could easily curve back up here and cross over into the green. But yeah, VWAP. Yeah, this VWAP is likely to come down at some point. But just in general, like, look how much time you spent in the red here. Right? Like, tons of time in the red. Even if you come back into the red a little bit, I do think you eventually would come back up into that big green wave. Coming down to the 10-hour money flow coming out, 8-hour money flow coming out. And, like, yeah, lower time frames don't look as good. 30-minute money flow coming up. I would really just watch this daily. I think you're likely to cool off a bit more once you get that red dot on the daily. You do not have a divergence. But you are likely to get some kind of a cool-off. I would lean sideways bullish on waves. But, I mean, you're pretty low here. A lot of the altcoins are at some pretty decent lows. John Shank said, Frankie had a little too much Red Bull. I don't drink energy drinks, guys. The only thing I drink is Aztecian cactus moss water, and this comes straight out of a cactus. And it's 100% natural. It's all collagen and antioxidants and just pure calcium. There's no energy or any kind of thing that goes into this that's artificial. It's 100% natural and not an energy drink. Do energy drinks come in cans like this? I don't think they do. They come in these, like, weird-looking cans. But, yeah, definitely not an energy drink. Shout out to John Shanks. Shout out to the cactus moss water. Let's go. Just settled a lawsuit. Oh, God. Let's go. Did they? Interesting. Let's see. Tequila, also a water that comes out of a cactus. Not, not a true. Oh, yeah, you guys can't see me. I was just saying, this is not an energy drink. Energy drinks don't come in cans like this. They come in weird-looking cans. This is all natural. Definitely not an energy drink. Not even close. But here we go, guys. Let's continue on. Shout out to Bud Monster. Oh, shout out to Thesis himself with the super chat. Let's go. Shout out to Thesis. Said, you touched on this earlier. 2 pieces of advice I give when coaching new traders. Number 1, trust your eyes, not your gut. Oof, that's a good one. And give it an effing chance. Hashtag patience. Shout out to Thesis. I would have to agree with both of those pieces of advice. Look, I like that. With your eyes and not your gut. Because you said trust your eyes, which I was like, it kind of sounds like you might be going with like trust your gut, but not trust your gut. Yes, thesis. I would 100% agree with all of that. Actually, I would even put a little emphasis on the second one. Give it an effing second. Nobody's going to get rich overnight day trading. I'm just going to say it out there, right? Probably, there's probably a lot of content creators out there trying to make you think that you can get rich overnight with day trading. It is not the case, guys. It is just simply not the case. Some people get lucky in crypto, but if you're day trading, you're not going to get rich quick overnight. It's just not going to happen. So give it an effing second and learn patience, guys. We actually had a trade recently on Bitcoin in the premium Discord right here. I'll show it to you. And it took a long time to play out. And the patience was real. Actually, it was a beautiful teaching moment here. And it was right here. We got into a long entry down here on this wick. And it came up, right? This was basically the trade. We looked to get in down here somewhere. I don't remember the exact number. I'm not going to try to find it. But somewhere down on this wick, we got into the trade, right? And we were simply just looking to ride it up to the value area high. But look what happened. Price just bing-bonged around for quite some time, right? Just bing-bong, bing-bong, bing-bong the whole weekend. And then it slipped here. A lot of people probably got scared. But patience and trusting the TA wound up working to our favor, in our favor. And I said in the premium Discord, like, guys, patience pays. Don't pull out of this position because it didn't play out right away. Trust your TA. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. But just leave your levels set and let the chart do its thing. And it took a little while. This was supposed to be a scalp trade that typically plays out in like usually a day or less. But it wound up taking 3 days to play out. And we just waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And then finally it hit that take profit. But we made money, right? So, shout out to Thesis. I would 100% agree with that. The straight up give it an effing second. I like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here with the altcoins. Let's see. You guys are too much. Dave says, Solana, we could try to take a look at Solana. Thesis, show me on this doll where Frankie touched this. And then Creighton C said, Thesis just pointed to the yellow X on the doll, Dave. Oh, God. Let's go. Shout out to Trippy. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. All right, but going back to waves, guys, you just got to spit that sauce sometimes when you get the super chats. But yeah, taking a look at waves, I would lean sideways bullish on this. Maybe you get a little correction here and there. Maybe you consolidate a little more. But, that money flow crossover on the daily as well as these higher daily time frames, money flow does look pretty decent. And I do think, although you might cool off first, I do think eventually you will get a bigger move up here just based off money flow. So if we go ahead and pull this, this is what I would look for. So, you're just stuck between the POC and the value area low. Here's some local levels that I would be looking at. I'd take this value area high, the POC, and the value area low. $2.58 is your key level of resistance. POC coming in at $2.13, and then your value area low coming in at $1.85. I would also watch for a potential short up here towards this wick. So that would be another level I'd watch at about $3.38. Other than that, money flow does look good on the higher time frames. I'd look for a little bit more consolidation and then a bigger move to the upside. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Creighton C says, why aren't people smashing the like button? Do we have to go over this every stream? Just press it already. Shout out to Creighton C, who is our like police. Appreciate Creighton C for assuming that, taking that position over. But let's go ahead and take a look at ALU. Oh, Altura. I was like, what is this? Shout out to Thesis said, they're not real, and Creighton knows it. Hashtag fake news. For anyone who doesn't know, Thesis himself, super OG of the channel, he doesn't believe in the yellow X's. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, we're talking about the market cipher, yellow X signal that pops up and typically indicates manipulation to the downside. Let's see. And look at them all right here. Yellow X, dumpski, yellow X, kind of a dumpski, yellow X, kind of a dumpski. But that's what those yellow X's typically foreshadow. And Thesis doesn't believe in them. So shout out to Thesis himself. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, Thesis. I'll go ahead and turn those off. I don't want you. We don't want to trigger him. Shout out to Thesis. Let's see. Yeah, V-Slim. I said, the second I said that, I was like, it's probably going to go over great in chat. But let's take a look here at Altura. Take a look at the daily. Money flow is looking good. VWAP is curving back off here. Ooh, slight bearish divergence on the daily with your higher high on your candles, with your lower highs on your momentum waves, giving you that bear div. It's not printing yet, though, so be careful with that. I would wait for the red dot to print on the daily. Money flow is looking good, though, so I'm not looking to short that thing down to the floor. I would look just for a slight cool-off before continuing back to the upside, right? So you come up, and then you bing-bong right back down, maybe to the golden pocket 786 before putting in a higher low, higher low, and then continuing to the upside. So that's kind of what I would look for on Altura. Let's take a look at the 2-day. Green dot printing. Money flow coming back up. Ooh, might want to push. 3-day. I mean, this might be a fluke. This 2-day might be a fluke. I would look for another red dot to print here on the 2-day at some point. Actually, the daily is what I would focus on. Wait for that VWAP to roll over on the daily. Your 3-day is looking for a red dot. Your 4-day, yeah, this is now all starting to look like Bitcoin. VWAP's cooling off on the higher time frames. Would indicate a move down before any other significant move to the upside. You did get a bearish divergence, slight bearish divergence printing here on the 10-hour. Very, very slight. There's your higher highs. There's your lower highs. Money flow starting to come out here on the 10-hour as well. Take a look at the 5-hour. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, money flow generally cruising out here on the 4-hour as well. But yeah, guys, right now, like when you leave the stream, I would watch the daily on a lot of this stuff. Not necessarily on Altura because your VWAP's kind of far away from the zero line, but on Bitcoin, a lot of these other things, the daily is the thing that looks like it wants to break to the upside, right? So that's kind of what I would wait for these dailies to kind of play out. But yeah, money flow looks good on the daily. Like a lot of this, money flow looks different on Altura on the higher time frames, but like even the 6-day and the weekly, like fresh money flow crossovers here. Not too much price history here to analyze. But yeah, money flow looks pretty good. But I would kind of just look at this as a sideways range, right? We've deviated from the value area high. I would look for a potential breakdown. I would actually look for a bounce off that POC. I don't typically look to trade the middle of a range, but a lot of times with the volume profiles, what will happen, guys, is sometimes you could come back down and test that point of control before continuing up. But especially if you have it lining up with a local golden pocket, which is actually not too far off here. You do have a little bit of confluence here. So I would take this level right here. I would look for a bounce there. A little boom, 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 right? Low, high, higher low, higher high. So that's what I would look for on Altura if we do get that move down. And again, like these lower time frames, like your 8-hour, your 10-hour, these are all looking for red dots with money flow coming out. So if they do wind up giving you more downside, I'd look for a bounce off that golden pocket. If you can't get that, I'd look for the 786. If you can't get that, I would look for the value area low of the range. So that's kind of the levels I would be looking at on Altura. But yeah, that's basically what I would look for on Altura. Let's go. Let's see. Can you talk about the DXY? Shout out to Mail. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. But you can go ahead and scrub back just a little bit. I did just cover the DXY. It was actually pretty saucy. You compared it to Bitcoin side by side. And yeah, just scrub back a little bit. We did pull it up. Look for the two charts next to each other. It should be easy to find. Shout out to Doyle. Says, hey, boss, what's happening? Nothing much, bro. What's going on? Happy to see you here. Let's see. Appreciate you. Shout out to James Armstrong. Said, appreciate you, but Lifer is on Twitter live right now. Shout out to Lifer. We love Lifer. Shout out to him. And shout out to you, James. Thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you. James Armstrong, not related to BitBoy like Bailey Armstrong is. But shout out to James. We love you, bro. And we'll see you soon. Let's see. Tony, is that you in the cage? Why are you dressed like a latex monkey? Never mind. I don't want to know. Neither do I. Or do I know? But, guys, let's continue on here. Shout out to Brad C. Brad C. does things, too. Says, let's see. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. I didn't even say that because you just said it. VeChain's still on watch with China closer and closer to Stimmies. Oh, hey, shout out to V-Chain. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Thesis said, make the yellow X's blue and he'll consider them. Hey. I mean, okay. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try right here. I apologize, guys. We are pausing the stream right now so to see if I could change the yellow X's. Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. Well, there you go. Here we go, Thesis. How about that? Can we consider them now? I don't like that blue. We're gonna go highlighter blue. Yeah, there we go, baby. How about that, Thesis? Does that count? Shout out to Thesis himself. Let's go. I'm actually gonna change them back. But I just did that for the bit. Shout out to Thesis. But yeah, let's continue on here. Taking a look at someone said, do I play Call of Duty or anything? I have not played anything recently in the past year or so. I haven't really played too much stuff. I play Apex. I played Halo. I will casually and occasionally play those games. I have no skill left whatsoever. I don't play enough. But hopefully at some point I can make more time in my schedule to do stuff like that. But I have I do a lot here on the channel. It's taken a lot of my free time, which is fun because I love doing this as well. But it does pull away from that time that I do like to play. But I do like Call of Duty. I do like Apex. I do like Halo. I hate Rocket League. I'm sorry. Shout out to Tony D. I hate Rocket League. But yeah, I like all games. I'm like a very casual player. Like I could play anything. I'm not like exceptional at anything really. I'm really good at Halo, but like still not really exceptional. I'm just a casual player. Anyway, Fortnite this Friday, Crimson Caravan. Yes, I don't know if that's locked in yet, but we may be playing Fortnite on the Hit Network Gaming channel. I might pop in for for a little guest appearance to play some Fortnite. Now I have not played Fortnite in quite some time, so I'll probably be garbage. I don't know if that's locked in yet, but if it is, I will see you guys out there. But I don't want to say I'll be there because I'm not sure if it's locked in yet. But I hope it is. I'm pumped to play Fortnite. Frankie's not good at anything except everything but gaming. That's confusing. Shout out to I don't know who said that. Shout out to oh, Wick589. Dude, I feel like I don't see your chats because of your name change. I look for the W. I just got to look for that possum face. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Oh, God, Harley said, bro, I need those ads for Fortnite. I'm cracked. Hit up Hit Network Gaming. Go to his stream tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be live. Hit it. Get in there. And I think it's open to the whole community, so I don't know how he selects who gets in there. But if you go on the Hit Network Gaming stream, I'm sure you can, try to get in there. I'm sure it won't be. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, taking a look at Caspa, guys. This is again. We just did do a video on Caspa. So on Sunday, keep an eye out for those videos, or that one video. But let's take a look if we can dissect this a little bit. Not too much price action here. Daily rolling back over with the VWAP. I'd look for a cool-off here. It's a little too soon to tell because there's not that much price action. Let's see. 4-hour green dot printing. So naturally, I'm going to come down to the lower time frames and check that money flow. 24-minute crossing into the green. 15-minute not really crossing into the green just yet. I would just watch this range, guys. I would actually pull it right here. Right, approaching your value area high. You're not getting the divergence, are you? No divergence. But you're coming up to your value area high. Come up to a lower time frame. Maybe you can get the div. Yeah, so let me turn on the Heikinashi so it looks a little cleaner. So you are getting a potential little bearish divergence here on the 5-minute. I don't typically just scout the 5-minute that often. But, what happens here typically is you will hold support at the low, come to the high, reject the high, come down to the low, come back to the high, and then come back down to the low, right? So I would be careful, though. 4-hour money flow coming up, 4-hour green dot printing, 2-hour green dot printing, 1-hour green dot confirmed. Oh, God, you're playing red dot, green dot here on Caspa. Not too fun. Shout out to Clinton Query. Says Solana. We could try. I'll try to take a look at Solana. You're the second person to bring that up. Zhang or Zhang. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. But He says, have you seen the weekly bear div on Bitcoin? Yes, I have. We actually went over it on the beginning of the stream. If you want to go check back and see my thoughts on it, you can go scrub to the beginning. It was one of the first things we covered. So check that out. And Clinton, yes, I will check out Solana for you, no problem. And shout out to Crypto Crabman, said, I'm only playing if there's a Frankie Candles Fortnite skin. That would be sick. Just like wearing the Frankie Candles hat and like has a Bitcoin backpack on. That'd be kind of dope. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, green dot on your 16-hour printing. You're playing red dot, green dot here a little bit on these higher time frames. So I would be careful. Yeah, like even on the 4-hour, you're playing red dot, green dot here. But the daily is generally cooling off here. So I would be careful of that daily VWAP crossover. Again, I'd be watching the daily on a lot of this stuff. I'll be watching the daily on a lot of this stuff. If you print that red dot here, likely going to give you a little bit more downside. But for the most part, it's very hard to analyze because there's not a lot of price history. See, 2-hour. Yeah, I would watch this local range. Pull a fib here as well. Yeah, you have nice. Look at that golden pocket value area low confluence right there. These are the levels I would watch. Boom. 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 786. There you go. This is what I would look for. If you get to move down to the bottom of the range, I would look for a bounce here. If not, 786. But I would really watch that daily red dot for the next move to the downside. All right, let's continue on here. Shout out to Creighton C says, oh, great. Wait, Creighton, do you not like Caspa? Creighton goes, oh, man, great. TA on Caspa. Next. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, are you not a Caspa guy? You don't like the ghost? You don't like the friendly ghost? Yes, yeah. Holland Nass featuring Wick 589 says, in technical terms, it will bing bong. Yes, it's going to be probably bing bong in a little bit. Red dot, green dot is no fun. Yeah, Casper is the ghost. I guess Caspa is the lackluster ghost. I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look at GRT, and then we'll take a look at Quant and Solana. I like Casper and trying to keep you on time. Oh, shout out to Creighton C. Okay, I see. I love getting the I like it. Guys, like, we have mods, and then we kind of have, like, unofficial mods. Like, Creighton C always helps out with the likes. He always helps out with keeping me on track or, you know, pinging me in the in the chat to remind me of stuff. We appreciate you, Creighton. Thank you very much. Let's see. Blockchain James, what is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. He says, heck yeah, LFG. Oh, for GRT. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know what you're saying heck yeah to, but hey, I'm with you. All right, let's take a look here. Take a look at the daily. Let's get rid of this. A little bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's analyze this downtrend here. Just going to go ahead and analyze the trend here. So what is going on here? Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and actually, no. All right, let's just continue on here. So we broke below our value area low, tested that POC, got a rejection, tried to get back in, and we're rejecting again. But here's the thing, guys. Money flow is coming up on the daily. VWAP is starting to round up. I would go ahead and argue that this move, right, like just looking at this uptrend, right, like you had the low, you came up, made a high, you put in your higher low, shocker here, it was at the golden pocket 786 retracement level, then you put in a higher high. Is this another higher low? Well, to help us figure that out, we could see if there was a local golden pocket there, because we know if there's a local golden pocket here, it makes it a little more likely that this is a good place to put in that higher low, and especially if you tested the 786, and let's go ahead and see. So you are testing that golden pocket. Would be a valid place to put in a higher low. The next move, in my opinion here, that I would want to see for more upside for GRT would be to bounce off the golden pocket, come back above the value area low, and then hold this value area low as support. And if you can get that to work, for 12 cents, if you can hold that 12-cent level, could look for a move up to your point of control, which is coming in at about 15 cents. And then obviously, once you're accepted into this range, you would be looking to make a move up to your value area high at about 18 cents. So that would kind of be the trajectory if this money flow crossover on the daily is indeed going to give us more upside. That's kind of what I would look for. Look for that higher low to get put in on the golden pocket. Maybe you bing-bong around here on the value area low a little bit, but once you flip it to support, I'd look for a move up to the value area high, and then, or I'm sorry, the POC, and then eventually the value area high. And one thing to note here is, yeah, see, we're holding this high volume node. May be able to get a quick move up to the value area low. Yeah, it actually doesn't look too bad, guys. That's kind of what I would look for on GRT. I'm going to keep it simple. I'd look for that higher low here, and then these are the key levels that I would look for, right? Just step it up. So, yeah, 12.5 cents or almost 13 cents. Or, I'm sorry, almost 12. About 12.5 cents is your key level of resistance that you got to get above. And then the POC at 15.5 cents, and then 18 cents is your value area high. Those are the levels I would look for. And with the money flow crossing into the green, with the VWAP rolling up on the daily, and if we come on down to some of these lower time frames, red dot on the 8-hour, that doesn't look as good. But let's keep going on, see if we can decipher this a little bit. Yeah, 2-hour green dot. Yeah, that's what I would look for, guys. Money flow coming up on the 2-hour as well. What's your 1-hour doing? Looking for a crossover into the green on your 1-hour. 16-hour looking for the green dot. Money flow crossing over into the green. Okay, yeah, that's what I would look for. I'm going to stick with that, guys. That is what I'd look for on GRT. And speaking of GRT, let's look at QNT. Let's see. We have some outstanding community members for sure, but Creighton C isn't one of them. Rob the Crypto Snob's words, not mine. I'm just kidding. He said he was joking, guys. We love Creighton C, obviously. We have no community members that we don't like. We love all our community members. Because if we didn't like them, we wouldn't even know because they get blocked very quickly. Shout out to the mods. All right, let's continue looking good. Yeah, shout out to Blockchain James. Actually, let me take a look at the weekly as well. Yeah, I mean, look at the money flow on the weekly, guys. Money flow on the weekly creeping up. Now, VWAP is coming down, but that doesn't make me think we're going to go to zero. It just makes me think that we might get a little cool off before getting that next move up. But I do think you might be able to get back in that value area before you get the red dot on the weekly. He's not joking. He abuses me. Shout out to Creighton C. Creighton C, call for help if you need. Show me on the doll where Rob bullied you. Anyway, shout out to Creighton C. Donato Cabrera laughing. Let's see. Does Rob hit you? He touched my yellow X. Oh, God. All right, back to the TA guys here. Let's take a look. Instead of GRT, let's look at QNT. Quant here. Oh, God. Weekly red dot printing for Quant actually going to be probably likely for a little bit more downside. I'm going to clear this TA real quick. Actually, I'm going to keep I'm not going to keep them. Red dot printing on the weekly. That is indicative of more downside. 6-day looking for the red dot. 5-day. Yeah, a lot of these time frames have the red dots. It actually kind of looks like it's front-running Bitcoin a little bit here with these red dots on the higher time frames. But coming down to the daily, daily is rolling to the upside, right? Money flow. Remember, the important thing to look at here, guys, is money flow. Money flow is curving to the upside pretty clearly. 2-day curving to the upside pretty clearly. So these red dots would indicate. I mean, your money flow is actually coming out pretty bad on the 3-day. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, coming out a little bit more on the 4-day as well. 5-day red dot printing. So I'd be careful of some more downside, but in general, your money flow on the daily is coming up, right? So I do think you might actually be able to hold this support. Take a look at the 16-hour green dot confirmed. Let's take a look at some of the lower time frames. Yeah, momentum just steady stair-stepping its way up. VWAP is still just kind of just chilling below the zero line. Look at this wonky price action, guys. This is an ugly chart, let me tell you. Let's see. Take a look at the 2-day. I'm going to pull this range, this wonky range, guys. I don't always pull wonky ranges, but when I do, they're extra wonky. But here we go, right? This is kind of the levels that I would be looking at. Key level here, I would actually make this a range. Key level is going to be your value area low at about $96, almost $97. I would say $96.50 is that value area low, and I would look for, support somewhere in this blue box. Like, once you start losing this blue box, you may be able to get some more downside. Pulling up the VPVR. Let's see. A $45 quant kicked off my career. Let's go. Shout out to Nate. Nice call, bro. Nice. Let's go. But these are the levels I would look at, right? Clearly clinging to the POC here a little bit. But, again, 2-day and daily money flow is coming up, especially your VWAP on the daily. I would be looking for longs. I would be looking for, long day trade longs, scalp longs. But let me pull up that VRVP, or VPVR as I like to call it. And, yeah, if we zoom out here, here's the thing. If we zoom out, you don't want to lose this support here. If you lose the support, probably not going to, it's probably going to be I mean, not even really. It's not that ugly. But yeah, this is probably where we got the levels from that I just deleted. But yeah, if you lose this value area low, which again with the daily green dot, I think it's more likely you get a bounce here. But you got to get over this POC. If you get over that POC, that's where you could come up to the value area high. But this is a very high volume node, so this is probably going to give you a bit of a fight. However, if you lose this level, I mean, even here, like this. Yeah, let me draw this as a range as well. Yeah, these are kind of the lower levels I would look for. If you lose your value area low, I'd look for a test of this blue box and then just look to stair-step your way down. Nothing really calling for that massive move down. I would actually more look for support at this blue box if you get a move down before potentially coming up to the higher your range, coming in at about $138, almost $139. So those are the key levels. Nothing has really changed since we've last looked at QNT, or Quant. But there you go. That's what I'd be looking for on Quant. Frankie's like a scientist. It's insane. All the levels he just found were all significant EMA crosses. I mean, hey, shout out to Nate, Quantum Divergence. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, and kind of, you're a legend, bro. Shout out to Nate, Quantum Divergence. I really do appreciate the kind words, man. But I will say this. Yeah, shout out to Dave Digital said, I don't watch TA shows. I couldn't tell you. Did you just skip GRT? Shout out to Dave Digital. I can, in fact, confirm that is a lie. Dave Digital has watched one of my streams before. So I know he does watch TA shows, even though it's once in a while. I know he does watch them sometimes. Shout out to Dave. But let's see. Algo, Bull Div forming on the 1, 2, and 3 hour charts. Before we jump into Solana, I will go ahead and take a look at that 1, 2, 3, and 4 hour charts. This is not Algo, although it looks very similar. Because as you guys know, Algo's been getting wrecked. But okay, hey, all right, or maybe our arrow will come true. Let's see. 2 hour Bull Div. I do see it. He is right. He is 100% right. Yeah, Bull Div on the 2 hour. Oh, baby. 1 hour. Bull Div confirmed. Money flow coming up on the 1 hour. Money flow coming up on the 2 hour somewhat. 3 hour Bull Div is looking to print here very soon. And your 4 hour Bull Div is also looking to print here soon as well. We're pretty low here, guys. Algo is pretty low right now. So this could wind up being a good place to get a bounce. At the value area low with bullish divergence. If you guys watched the stream from earlier, you will know that more often than not, you are able to find setups like this and get a move up. If we do get a move up, I would look for a potential move. If you can get above this POC, guys, you could get a quick move up to the golden pocket, which we drew this line yesterday. But that's what I would look for, right? Big old volume gap. Might get a quick move through there up to that next golden pocket. But yeah, that is what I would look at. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. And let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. Bada boom. So here we are. I don't know what this arrow is from, but we'll see. It looked like we were able to predict that, but I don't know if that's what I don't know if we did or not. So I'm not going to say we did. But anyway, taking a look here. Slight bear div here on the 4 hour. Taking a look at the daily. Money flow crossing over into the green. Oh, baby. Solana on the move, guys. Solana on the move. I did check my bag of Solana, and it is quickly getting back to break even, guys. I'm not going to lie. It is almost at break even. But anyway, continuing on here, this is or was our next major level of resistance. I'm just basically basing that off of this purple box. It usually means that we were looking at this as resistance. And we are getting a little bit caught up here. Doesn't mean we can't get past it, but we are getting a little bit of turbulence. One rejection. Are we going to get another one? Potential bear divs here to print on the 8 hour. Yeah. 4 hour VWAP. 4 hour bear div looking to print as well. Very slight bear div. I don't even know if you have this on regular candles. You do. Very slight bear div on, and it is printing on the 4 hour as well. Very slight bearish divergence here on the 4 hour. Money flow generally coming out. Checking the daily. Red dot confirmed. I'd be careful with the longs as of right now on Solana. Scalp longs is what I'm kind of referring to. Yeah, daily. Yeah, I mean, if you get a VWAP flip here, and you get an immediate green dot right after that red dot, I would look for a potential move to the upside, but we are not even printing that just yet. I would keep an eye on that daily close in about 36 minutes. But yeah, for the most part, I'd watch this bear div. I think you maybe kind of cool off here a little bit before continuing to the upside. Maybe you put a higher low here in at the bottom of that golden pocket. Let's see if we do have a previous area of balance. Yeah, like right here, guys, if we pull this range like this, right, somewhat of a... yeah, somewhat of a, maybe pull it from here. No. But yeah, this kind of area of consolidation may be something to watch as we kind of just bing bong around in this kind of sideways consolidation. So maybe if you do cool off that 4-hour bear div, I would look for a move potentially to the bottom of the golden pocket, or the top of the golden pocket, coming in at 21.56. Right? So if you lose that POC, probably going to get a move down here. If you get past there, I would look for a move down to the value area low. I don't know if you're going to get lucky enough to get a move all the way back down here. But if you did, you know, yeah, 15-minute money flow crossing over into the red, 4-hour bear div printing, might be able to get a little bit of a move down here on Solana, just as a cool-off, though. Again, like if we pull, let's see if we can find any confluence with our golden pockets. Boom. I missed the high here a little bit, but it's close enough for me. Just to kind of draw out the level, right? Like if we can get back down to this blue box, put in a higher low, and then continue to the upside, that would be beautiful. So this would be kind of where I would look for a bounce on Solana if that 4-hour bear div does bring you down. And, yeah, that's what I would be looking at on Solana, guys. And then I think that is all the altcoins. I will just say this, guys. I kind of wanted to do this. I was thinking about maybe just doing this tomorrow, but I will do it today. I'm going to go on the weekly, and I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to hide the TA, and I want to just look at the altcoins. I'm just going to run through the list here, right? So this is Solana. Now, I don't think Solana is completely dead. It's the camp I live in. Like, I just don't think it's dead. I think it will come back in some form or fashion. I don't know if it's going to break its all-time highs, but I do think it will come back. It is still a legitimate project with tech, with actual tech. Just because it was involved in the whole FTX Alameda research whole debacle doesn't mean that the project is completely dead. Now, was it good? Not really. But it does still have good tech, and it's an actual project with real fundamentals, right? So I don't think it's completely dead. Like I said, like I am almost here at break even. I'm like almost back up to break even for my bag. But just look at this, guys. Solana. And I've been saying this, right? Like Solana is still 91% off its highs. 91% off, guys. And again, you know, Solana's kind of a specific situation where I don't know if it's going to break its all-time high. But, you know, I've been telling people this, and I feel an obligation to, like, even like talk to my family and, like, some of my friends, you know, I could be wrong, guys, right? Like, the bottom could not be in yet for Bitcoin. I do think it is much more likely in than not. But I am buying right now, right? I've been accumulating. I've been very open about when I've been accumulating, what strategies I used to accumulate. I've been using those strategies, and I have been accumulating for quite some time now. I am accumulating alts pretty heavily. Not 100% all in just yet, but I am slowly accumulating every day. I am buying altcoins, guys. They are 91%. A lot of them are 90% off their highs still. Even if we get another washout on the alts, I will simply buy more. But I am buying altcoins right now, guys. And I know a lot of people are just waiting for 10K. And will it come? Maybe one day. But I'm not willing to sit out completely. And again, if we get that next big wash, I will just simply pick up cheaper altcoins, right? But like just pointing out here, 91% off the highs. I would actually even argue this does look somewhat like a inverse drunken head and shoulders. Again, not a big pattern guy, but it does look like one. I'm not gonna lie, but it actually would kind of line up here. I'm going to go ahead and delete all the drawings here. This is kind of random here, guys, but if this is indeed some kind of drunken inverse head and shoulders with your neckline right here, we could potentially break out. And the reason this would make sense to me is because if you break out and bullishly retest that neckline, you would also basically be cracking this highest volume node and then flipping that highest volume node to support, which would just be bullish in general. And if that is the case and you do wind up doing that, the next likely stop for for Solana, like in the short to medium term, would be about $30 to $31. So just as I see that, I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, guys, 91% off its highs. Not a bad time for me to either be looking for low leverage, longer term trades, or just looking to stack the hodl bags. Not too bad. So I'm going to keep going down here. Litecoin, not as low, but still from the high. Still down 76%. Like, Litecoin has been moving a little bit lately, so it doesn't look as on sale. But a lot of these altcoins, INJ, obviously a little bit newer. Link, just still sitting in this sideways range. Link, 88% off its all-time highs. Polkadot, a seriously undervalued project in my opinion. 90% off the highs. OP, because I could already tell. If Bitcoin gets a big rip and we wind up going to 50K, everyone's going to be asking, is it too late to buy into altcoins? Did I miss the bottom on altcoins? And I just want to be able to say, hey, guys, remember we were talking about on my stream how everything was down 90%? Everyone's I'm not picking it up until it's almost free. Like, you got to pull the trigger at some point. At some point, one of your bags is going to be in the red for some time before it goes into the green. So just remember, this is why dollar cost averaging works so well, because it's not about sniping the bottom and dumping your entire bag in at what you think is the bottom. It's very hard to do that, especially in the long term. It's hard to snipe those bottoms. That's why dollar cost averaging is so effective. But here, OP, newer altcoin, right? These are obviously not going to be as far down off their all-time highs because they're newer. They didn't have those parabolic run-ups in 2021 to compare to, but still 63% off its recent high, right? Next, XRP. Obviously, not even its all-time high, but 76% off its recent high. I'm just going to go like Trust Wallet token, like Near Protocol. Right, a lot of these alts are still on sale, guys. 93%. Synthetics, 92%. Right, because I'm telling you, it's like we're creeping up. Like, you could feel the sentiment changing. You could feel people starting to talk about meme coins again. You could start seeing like every day there's a new crypto TikToker. That's kind of like one of the big things. Is like, all right, price is pumping. Here we go again. 91% off its all-time high for Doge. Right, like. A lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, I wish I bought Doge at 6 cents and now it's $4 or whatever. I know it didn't go to $4. It peaked out here at about 75 cents, but in the next bull run, you never know. A lot of people like this might be cheap here, right? Like, I'm not sitting here and praying with my fingers crossed, especially with the way the Bitcoin weekly looks. I'm not going to sit here and wait for, Dogecoin to go to sub penny before I start buying, right? We're 90% off the highs. And even just looking at the market cycles, guys, 90% off the highs, that's typically what happens. Bitcoin gets a massive correction. Like, what is Bitcoin's actual, let's see. From the all-time high to the low, just roughly 77%. The altcoins get crushed even worse, about 90%, 95%, some of them. And this is like what we look for during bear markets to accumulate. Like, once those altcoins start hitting 90% down, 83% down, Hex absolutely destroyed. Going to be coming out with a Hex video as well, guys. Is Hex dead? We're going to investigate it. 98% off the highs. That's actually Gala, another very, very reasonable project with actual stuff going on. 97% off the highs. Casper, newer altcoin, 42% off its most recent high. Phantom, 92% off its all-time high. Right? Like, I know that even if you bought here, you felt like you bought the top, but you have to remember, you're not looking at the markets in terms of this local price action. You're thinking of the markets in terms of potentially hitting new all-time highs. And you don't want to be all the way up here, and you don't want to have missed that opportunity because you were trying to decide whether to pick your bag up at this price or this price, right? Like, even if you go back down here, it doesn't matter in the long run if you buy up here or over here, because when you zoom out and you look at the new all-time highs, it's just going to look like you bought the bottom of the bear market, right? And you have to try to see this before you're in that position, not buying because you're waiting. No, I think we're going to get another dump here. Even if you dump down to this value area low, which, just for the record, is 36% from where we are right now. That seems like a massive dump. But, and again, this is like, I'm not saying that Phantom's going to run up to $100. But, I mean, who knows? But I'm not saying that's a random line I drew. But just understand that, like, a lot of people, I think, are waiting for these lower lows on not only the altcoins but Bitcoin, when in reality, if Bitcoin goes to 100K plus and these altcoins rip through their all-time highs, it's not going to matter, whether you bought here or here. But what is going to matter is if you don't buy in at all, and then by the time you decide to throw in the towel and accept that, okay, maybe we're not going lower, price is probably going to be pretty high. And then that's how people wind up buying altcoins. Most people will buy the coins on the way up, and then they peak out over here. And then people go like, well, oh, God, Phantom was disappointing. People did it with ADA last cycle. People were like, wow, like, let me pull up Cardano real quick. Sorry, guys, I'm on a rant right now, but I think this is probably valuable for a lot of people. A lot of people... For ADA, right? People buying ADA were saying, hey, ADA was really disappointing this cycle. Guys, people were buying ADA in 2020 for 2 cents. They did not get a lackluster move. The people who were saying ADA was underperformed were the people who were buying ADA up here, because they were either waiting for lower lows to come in the bear market last cycle and that never got it. And then by the time we came up here, they were like, oh, okay, like, we're only up by these highs, so maybe we're not going to go lower. And then they buy here and they get a measly, in crypto, a measly 6x when they could have just started buying down here and got an 1100% return, right? So don't be the person that is waiting. And if the lower lows come, guys, as long as you're not dumping your entire bag in, if it goes lower, just buy lower, right? That's what I do. It's not financial advice. I'm just saying what I do. But it's those people that you're getting this pump and you're like, it's a sucker's rally. Like, it'll come back down. And you're like, see, it'll come down, but I'm not buying until it goes lower. And then it comes back up, and you're like, okay, this is where it's going to come down. And then it goes up. And then at that point, you're like, oh, I guess it's going to go to $100. I'll buy here. And then you're buying the top. This is what 99% of people do, right? This is what retail money does. You got to buy when you're scared. And I just wanted to point that out on all these altcoins, guys. Like, let's see, right? Let's just run through a couple more before we end the stream. Matic, down 75%. ApeCoin, down 93%. Atom, down 80%. Now, sure, is buying down here a lot more, appealing than buying up here or even up here or even up here? Sure. I mean, you get a better buy-in price. But, guys, if Atom breaks its old all-time high, and again, I'm not saying we are going to go to $120 or $175, but let's just say, for example, you went all the way up here. You're not going to care if you bought here, 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 here. You basically just bought the bottom of the bear market, and you got insane gains, right? So just keep this in mind, guys. I would keep going. Actually, that's the end. Atom was the last one. So just realize here, like, even on Bitcoin, guys, like, a lot of people, like even me, I paused my DCA bot on this pump, and then I kept buying, and then I paused my DCA bot on this pump, and then if we come down, I will keep buying. But I've been buying all the way since back here. I bought all through here, and then I bought a little here, and then I bought a little here, right? And then I'll buy a little here if we come down. But understand, like, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I'm not buying Bitcoin. That's I'm not buying the top. Now, granted, I don't really like buying big green candles either. So there is some kind of a threshold. But even now, down 50% off its all-time high. Like, I know I would rather wait for a cool-off. But, again, if Bitcoin goes to 100K, right, 100K is all the way up here. Are you going to care if you bought down here or up here? Probably not. Because as soon as you get that big run up to 100K, you're not even going to be able to see the difference in those prices. You're just going to be like, dang, I should have been buying all down here. I should have been just buying all the time right here. Like, you're not going to care. You got to zoom out, right? And anyway, that's, it is Rob's birthday. It is Rob's birthday, guys. I did my first buyback day before we broke below 30K. Been buying ever since. My sacks are so fat. Shout out to Mountain Climber. Shout out to Crypto Pollo in the chat, or Bitcoin Chicken as I like to call him. It's not if, it's when, brother. Absolutely, Crypto Pollo. But there you go, guys. That is just, I want to show you guys that. Like, all these altcoins are pretty crushed, and even if they go lower, it doesn't, just because it's 98% down, doesn't mean it can't dump another, X percent, right? Like, you could still come lower. But just understand that at some point, like, don't try to buy the exact bottom. Like, more often than not, you're not going to get it anyway, even if you're really good at TA. Trust me. So don't be afraid, and just understand, like, all those altcoins are all down very, very high or very, very low off of their recent highs. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Ran a little long there. I did just want to go ahead and just show that for you guys. Shout out to I don't even know. Shout out to Dave Digital said Frankie is scared to even read the word yeah, preggers. What is going on in chat right now, guys? Let's go. I need one Frankie Candles hat. Shout out to Underground Only. Well, we're going to be spinning this wheel. Spin numero uno. Let's try to get you that hat, brother. Do you like do like the trucker chart hat? Yeah, shout out to you guys. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. It's simple, right? Like, we didn't want to plaster my name all over it. Not everybody wants to, like, watch put a YouTuber's name. We have the Frankie Candle shirts and stuff and the Bing Bong shirts and stuff like that, but, like, not everybody wants to put, like, someone else's name on their hat or whatever. And, like, we wanted to gear this more towards, like, if you're a trader and someone sees the candles, they'll be like, hey, is that a trading hat? But, like, it doesn't have to say Frankie Candles on it. Like, it's just a trader. It's for traders. You don't have to be a Frankie Candles fan to wear this hat. You could just be a trader. You could trade Forex and wear this hat. Shout out to Dave Digital said, congratulations, Frankie. Do you guys think I'm pregnant? Oh, God. Shout out to Creighton C. Oh, no. Oh, God. I hope not. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that, guys. TJ's the one that's, yeah, TJ, you know. Yeah, TJ's jumped. I'm not up TJ's level yet. I'm not ready for a kid yet. Dave Digital, maybe. Maybe I am. You never know. Shout out to Dave Digital. Here we go. Frankie, have you heard about Caspa? I can wait. Shout out to Crypto Honesto. I think he's kidding. Shout out to you, bro. We just did a bunch of TI on Caspa. I don't know if you're joking or not. But if you're not, scrub back. We just did some TI on Caspa, and this Sunday we will be dropping a Caspa millionaire video, letting you guys doing some moon math, talking about how many Caspa you may need to accumulate to become a millionaire with Caspa alone. Let's see. Is the giveaway for merch? Not yet. We have to hit our like goals first to add merch giveaways. We didn't hit it today. We got 440. We were looking for 550. But luckily, we stream every single day, so we have many other opportunities to hit those like goals. So by the end of the week, we probably will wind up giving away some merch, but just no guarantees. It really depends. I get compliments on my hat all the time. It's just a good-looking hat. Just saying. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Yeah, man, I actually get comments all the time as well. And it's like, it's really funny. Like, everybody at the Hit Network, it's like super cool. Like, everybody wears the Frankie Candles hat. Like Kelly, right? Kelly Kellum from the BitLab Academy, Tim Warren from the BitBoy Crypto Show, and who else wears one? Morel, who handles our merch. Drew, the Druth, as you guys know him as. They all wear the Frankie Candles hat. It's a good hat. It's a nice hat, guys. We didn't cheap out on the hats. These are Richardson 112 hats. These are name brand hats, and we just get the patches put on them. So it's like it's a quality hat. It's not like we're getting these from some cheap drop shipping place from China. These are like quality hats. And yeah, I think people like them. But yeah, it's super cool. We love them, and we love that people love them. It's super cool. But let's see. Oh God, why did I spin it 7 times? We only got 400 likes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 giveaways for 400 and something likes. I gotta keep a closer eye on these spins, guys. But also, just speaking of the merch, guys, check out the Hit merch. Go to the Frankie Candles brand. Maybe Rob the Crypto Snob or Tyler or somebody can go ahead and drop the merch link in the chat, or Tony if you're still here. But yeah, guys, we got, like I said, we got some Bing Bong. We got some YouTube merch. Frankie Candles Universities, our new shirt here. Super cool. Comes in black and white. I actually kind of like the white. But yeah, we got a bunch of different merch items here. We got the Bing Bong t-shirt, and then we got the Bing Bong mouse pads. Super dope. There's the hat. Comes in multiple colors. We got the mugs, the beanies, some super dope t-shirts, some a little more low-key. Some of them are just straight up repping the CandleMafia. We got the dad hat with the Hikinashi trend on it, the crew neck sweater, which is kind of out of season at this point. But there you go, guys. Go check that out. We try to keep the prices as low as we possibly can. And with all that being said, that is all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking around till the end of the stream and hanging out with us on this beautiful Tuesday night to just do some TA and try to figure out what this thing Bitcoin's going to do. But guys, that's all the time we got for today. Shout out to Cybersplash. Shout out to Crypto Honesto. Shout out to Tony D. Shout out to Crypto Pollo, Hodl Crypto, Crimson Caravan Company. Oh, there's Crypto Toro. Crypto Totoro said just got some free shirts today. Yeah, shout out to Tony. Shout out to Crypto Totoro. It was awesome meeting you, bro. Guys, Crypto Totoro was at the office today. But yeah, super, super cool people. I got to meet him and his wife. Super, super down to earth, super cool people. Loved meeting you guys. And yeah, guys, come by Hit Network. Come take a tour and come hang out with your boy. But shout out to Crypto Tutorial. Really, bro, it was a pleasure meeting you and your wife. I don't want to dox your names. I don't know if you guys want to give that out there on the internet. But with all that being said, guys, keep an eye on Bitcoin. May break up, may break down. Just one of those situations where it's hard to read. But play that range. You guys have the key levels to watch. And hopefully we could see something happen with that CPI data tomorrow. Maybe we get that, that crazy what is it called? Volatility, and we could break out of this range and go find new prices, whether it's to the upside or the downside. Fingers crossed. I would prefer a move to the downside, to be honest with you, but it doesn't mean that's going to happen. But guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the gifted memberships. And thanks for just being the best community on YouTube, guys. And definitely go check out that Bing X live stream from earlier today. It's a saucy one. And with all that being said, we'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos.
And a record-breaking Frankie Candles fake out, guys, because we got breaking news. Shout out to Tony D. I did not know this was actually finalized and finished, but I will say this. Check out merch.frankiecandles.com, guys. We actually do have our own merch website now, which is merch.frankiecandles.com. And it's just all our stuff. You don't have to click brands or anything. You just come to our merch website, and it's all the same stuff, right? We got everything in black and white. Actually, this one in white is fire. I don't even have this one. But yeah, we got everything in black and white. And then we got the mugs, and we got everything you just saw on the other merch website. But this is our new website. We're going to start pushing everything to this. I think we're just going to wind up having our own. We won't have the Hit merch website anymore, at least for Frankie Candles. But everything's on here, guys, so go check it out. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got now for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. Have a good night, guys. Go touch some grass. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.